What is up, guys? It is Thursday, August 8th, 2024. It is 11:30 a.m. here in Germany. This is the Insanity Report for today. So there's a story about the FDA, the trustworthy FDA. They're the guys that are supposed to regulate pharmaceutical companies and food companies. They're the ones that kind of are supposed to be there to make sure that the medicine you're getting isn't contaminated and that there's not major side effects. They kind of are supposed to be the investigative body of, companies that sell stuff that influence our health and our lifespans. They're the gatekeeper, basically. So we should be able to trust them, but we know from COVID that that is not an option anymore. We can't take anything they say to be true, and this story is just more proof of that. So apparently a dude named Sullivan, his email was uncovered in discovery that a court case provided. So America First Legal, an organization, sued the FDA. They wanted information about their standpoint on puberty blockers and gender-affirming care bullshit. And they refused to answer, or they delayed answering it, so they took them to court. And in this court case, they got discovery, and they were forced to turn over a whole bunch of information regarding these internal documents about gender-affirming care and puberty blockers and what the FDA should do regarding those drugs for so-called transgender kids, of which there are almost none in reality. We know that. It's basically just a fad. It's like the emo kids when I was in school. If you're either an emo kid, or you were a jock, or you were part of the smokers club or whatever. But that's what this transgender bullshit is. We see it and we know it. It's a way to get attention. It's a way to become the new victim class, and people are falling for it left and right because they don't have brains that are capable of thinking logically and critically, just like I've been saying in pretty much all my videos. So that's the phenomenon. It's not like there's really that many transgender kids, like kids with, body dysphoria or gender dysphoria or morphia or whatever the fuck you call it. That just doesn't seem realistic to me. So America First Legal did this lawsuit, and they got this information. And in this email, this guy Sullivan, right, he basically says he wants to approve puberty blockers and medical alteration medicine for children because of the need that they need to have it. The trans community needs to have it. So he wants to approve it, even though in studies they found out that kids taking these drugs are at higher risk of depression, severe depression, and suicide, along with a plethora of other side effects that are obviously not as devastating as those are. But yet he wants to approve it anyway. And again, this is the thing. This is the problem with having any ideology running something, running the show about something. It can't happen, guys. You know what I'm saying? You can't. These people are responsible for gatekeeping products that might harm the public. They're the government-installed organization that is responsible for that. They're like they should be highly respected and highly believed. People shouldn't have to doubt what they say might be true or not. They are supposed to be an independent, neutral body that doesn't favor the pharmaceutical companies, and everything is geared towards protecting the public when it comes to this organization. And yet they are going to go against their own findings and say, yes, let's approve puberty blockers for children, even though they cause higher rates of depression and suicide, and I said a plethora of other side effects. Now, don't take this because I get a lot of people, right? I get a lot of people when, comments, and sometimes people write me, or people I know, that they're like, this is not happening. You know what I'm saying? There are no children getting medically transitioned. Hey, if you just do a little bit of research on this, okay? A tiny bit. You can even Google it. They'll tell you ironically enough, Google will tell you the truth about this. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to use a secret search engine or search the dark web, or, fucking bribe a person at a gender clinic. No. No. All you have to do is read for 5 minutes about it. You will see. It is happening. It is happening in America, and it's happening in other countries. Now, Europe has kind of backed off on this. Great. Let's see how long it lasts. Ideology seems to be winning the day everywhere we look these days. So, and that's the case of this FDA thing. So, they're getting pushed back from these trans activists. So the FDA has allowed themselves to be captured by activism, or they're actually part of the ideology where they actually believe that medically transitioning children from male to female, or attempting to do so, is actually healthy for the child. That's an ideology. If you believe that, there is something wrong with your brain, because it doesn't matter what doctors say about it or what studies are done. We know that isn't right instinctively. I don't need a doctor to tell me it's right or wrong. I know it. You know what I'm saying? I know it. And I don't care what a study says. It doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? I know it is. Okay? So, come on. Come on. Don't try to play this game where everybody's like, oh, well, they're not really improving that. It's not, kids aren't getting puberty blockers. The fuck they aren't. The fuck they aren't. All I have to do is a little bit of research, guys. So do that. But know that the FDA has proven during COVID they're untrustworthy, and they are doing it again, because now, again, they've now been sued. These documents have come out. You can research it yourself. You can find the email online. You know what I'm saying? Not going to link to everything, because I want people to learn that they can do simple searches and simple research, that not everything takes a giant amount of time. So if this subject interests you, research it just a little bit. You'll find the email pretty easily. And in the email, the guy says, we know that, that there's higher risk of suicide, and that, that's the funny thing. Okay, we know there's a higher risk of suicide and severe depression, yet we are going to approve it anyway. We know that these children are not practicing informed consent, and they know that that's the way it's supposed to go in medicine. It's supposed to be informed consent. You're supposed to be informed about what you're taking, what the positive and negatives are, what the side effects may be as far as they know, and then you decide, do you want to try it or not, right? But kids don't have that option, because they don't understand shit, because kids are stupid. You know what I'm saying? That's why we don't let kids chop off their dicks. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? You won't let your kid jump off a building either, because he wants to test out if he can fly. You won't do it. He's like, no, dude, we're not doing it. Same thing with chopping off dicks. Nope, sorry. No matter what a doctor says, not going to do it. Right? That's pretty simple. Pretty simple shit. And yet, for the the FDA, it seems like a complicated question. Well, we know these drugs are causing major harm, major side effects, the worst of which are severe depression and more risk of suicide. And we also know that the doctors and the clinics and the gender-affirming care practitioners that practice this shit are telling people, if you don't go along with the transitioning process, then your child has a high risk of killing themselves, when it's actually the fucking complete opposite. Just like with COVID. It was just like with COVID. They say it's A, it's actually Z, guys. They say it's in, it's actually out. They say it's up, it's actually down. It's exactly the fucking opposite. So they say, if you don't get your kid medically transitioned because he claims he's a fucking woman when he's a boy, then you are contributing to the fact that he might have a higher suicide rate if you don't do it. You know what I mean? And actually, what's going on is actually the drugs that you're going to give them, they're the things that are causing more depression and suicide. These people are horrible, disgusting fucking people. And I don't care if they're captured by an ideology and don't know better. You know what I'm saying? Just like we all know that Jeffrey Dahmer was fucking completely nuts, completely insane. Anybody that kills a bunch of people, puts them in their apartment, keeps their head in the freezer, and keeps their bodies in vats of acid in the bedroom, that's a mad motherfucker. He's crazy. And yet, no leniency. You know what I mean? He did not get off on insanity. He got beat to death in prison by a bunch of people with a broomstick. Look, we got no sympathy for him. You know what I mean? So the same applies to these people who are later, when this gets made illegal finally, and people start getting punished for their crimes against children, then these people are going to be like, well, we didn't know better, just like the Nazis in Germany, right? They're like, oh, we didn't know, guys. You know, the people that supported them, we didn't know. We didn't know. We saw the neighbor guy get dragged out of his house and never come back again. But he must have done something, right? That's these people. That's what these people are going to be. They're going to be these people. They're going to be the people that go, we didn't know that we were doing the wrong thing. Well, everybody else on the planet knows it's the wrong thing. So no excuse there. These people are going to get their fucking karma at some point. Probably soon. I'm pretty positive about that. Probably soon. So, yeah, there you go, guys. You can't trust the FDA. And well, you couldn't already, but now you definitely can't. Because they will be willing to sacrifice the truth and sacrifice children in order to push through their ideology, their ideological viewpoint, or they want to just be, they want to avoid getting bullied by activists that don't know anything. And look, I'm sorry if your job at the FDA makes you feel bullied by activists, but your job is to be neutral. You're the fucking people that are supposed to be the scientists. You can't let fucking men in dresses with talking shit on the street influence you to make one decision or another. That's crazy. You're supposed to make your own decisions. And see, we've gotten into a culture where that's not possible anymore. People need somebody else to make their decision for them at all times. They can't fucking think anymore. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So there you go, guys. FDA, useless organization. They will give puberty blockers to children and allow it to be given to children for so-called transgenderism, even though they are well aware, they say it in their own email, while they're well aware that it causes severe depression and higher suicide rates among children. And they don't care about that. They don't care about you. They don't care about your fucking kids. So everything you do from now on in America that has anything to do with medicine, health, or food, don't rely on any government organization like the FDA, the CDC, any of these places to give you the right answers. Look on your own. Research it. Take the time. Don't take the easy way, because the easy way is going to lead you to get your kid's dick cut off. Yeah, how much clearer do I have to be? Right? How much more information do you need before you say, okay, I guess we're going to discount everything they say, right? Okay, I'm done. That doesn't make any sense. We're done. Forget it. You know what I mean? I say the same thing. I always say it about flat earth and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. We don't give any attention to flat earth. They're like, that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We don't even talk about it with the people that think the earth is flat. We're like, okay, you can think that, but I'm not going to waste 5 minutes on this. It's crazy. The same thing should be about fucking sexually mutilating or transitioning or gender affirming caring about kids. That's madness. We all know it's madness. I'm going to say it over and over again. And this FDA, the people that are supposed to be the gateway, are basically selling your kids down the river in the service of some fucking bananas ideology, or just these people are completely incompetent. Whatever it is, they need to be punished severely. So watch out for that. Like I said, if it interests you, look for the story. Other than that, we've got a little bit more information about our friend Tim Waltz, the guy who basically supports gender-affirming care for children, since we're on that subject. He also seemed to have a very, very little amount of friends in his own unit when he was in the military, because his people are all basically calling him a deserter, because conveniently, when he was called to go, I think it was to Iraq, don't pin me on the exact thing, but the guy was basically supposed to go with his unit to go fight, and he was like, no, I'm going to run for Congress. That's pretty convenient, right? And instead of going to fight for his country, he talked a lot of shit about how honorable he is and all this other stuff, but in the end, he basically just ducked out when it was time, when it was go time. That's what it looks like to me. Now, again, I don't know the exact whole story, didn't read about it, I hear about it in passing, but there's people of his own unit coming out saying this dude is a douchebag, right? So, I don't know. He's not looking like the greatest candidate for Kamala Harris, you know what I'm saying? Because this team, as much as the Democrats on the left will have you believe they're the dream team and they're the shit. Oh my God, Tim Waltz did so many good things like free breakfast for kids at school. Hey, like I said yesterday on Insanity Report, that's great that he did that. That's great that he did that. It's awesome. I'm cool with that. I think that's a good thing. Breakfast for free for kids at school, sure. Why not? You know what I mean? But the guy also supports transitioning small children. Okay, well, that basically cancels out the fucking breakfast thing. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, you have breakfast. Good job, man. Breakfast, awesome. And then he's like, okay, but I'm going to sign a bill that allows kids to get their dicks chopped off. And if their parents don't agree, then we can take the kids out of the house. They were like, okay, well, the breakfast thing was good, but it doesn't beat this shit. This shit is crazy. That's pretty simple, guys. I mean, I don't really want to talk that much about Tim Walz because basically everything has been said. When you know that somebody is in the position to pass laws, and his law is, let's fucking hide the fact that a kid wants to transition from one sex to another from their parents, so that the parents don't get in the way of that. And I'm going to sign a bill that makes that we can even take the kids from the house, you know, if the parents don't go along with this craziness. And I'm going to sign a bill that allows gender-affirming care for children in my state. Basically, we shouldn't even call it gender-affirming care, it's child mutilation, it's child abuse. It's child abuse. It's either mentally fucking with a kid, confusing the kid, or physically, or both. And so it's child abuse in all ways. And Tim Walz is a guy that supports this type of child abuse. So basically that disqualifies him right there. So there's really not much we really have to say about him anymore, right? We're done. Tim Walz, done. Good pick for Trump. Like I said yesterday, great pick for Trump, because people are walking away from extreme leftism. You see? People are walking away from it. We saw it in Virginia with Glenn Youngkin, you know, the guy with the abortion thing. The old governor was like, yep, abortion till after birth. Good, let's do it. And everybody said, okay, fuck that, we're done. Tim Youngkin, all right, let's go. Let's vote this guy in. They're doing it with the squad. So Jamal Bowman is gone. Cori Bush is going to be gone. She lost her primary. They're going to be out. One by one, they're getting picked off. Only AOC is left because she's hot. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. But after that, you know, they're all going to get picked off because people are like, no, this extreme shit is too crazy. We're done. And they look at the same thing about sex changes for kids. I know the left likes to make you think that it's not a thing, that people, you know, that the conservatives make this big deal out of transitioning and women and men and women's sports and all this shit. But that's not a real thing. Oh, it is a real thing, and people really do care about it a lot. They're pretty wild about certain things, and not so wild about the transitioning children thing. A lot of people are not wow about it. Don't underestimate it, Democrats, for real. For real. So, guys, look, I think that in any free and fair election, that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz have no chance. That doesn't mean we can lean back. That means everybody's going to still go out and vote. Everybody's got to play the same dirty game as the Democrats are doing, and make sure to win this election. Absolutely. It's not in the bag, by far not. You know what I mean? By far not. But realistically, if you look at these people, they've got no policy. The Tim Walz guy's a complete radical nutjob. He's a self-proclaimed socialist. The guy is completely unqualified to do this job, and so is Kamala Harris. We all know that. So, I don't know. There's not much more I can say about the guy. I'm sure more information will come out. Twitter's full of it. The news, the alternative media space is full of it. If you want to know more information about Tim Walz, you'll find it. And yes, you'll find some good things he did, right? But remember, no matter what good thing he did, it can't be that good that it's okay to sign bills that are pro-child sex changes. Sorry. So, guys, that was the Insanity Report for today. It's almost weekend again. Again, the week been wiped pretty fast. If you like my stuff, you want to get it in your inbox automatically, then you can get the Insanity Report. Comes out every day. The weekly rant once a week. And I've also got podcast recommendations and a bunch of articles that I write that are also quite more detailed than the videos and also interesting. So if you want to get all that stuff in your inbox immediately when it comes out, when it's published, then all you have to do is subscribe to my Substack below for free or paid. Paid is much appreciated, of course. And look, if you're watching this video on another platform like Rumble or TikTok or something like that, then you can also follow me there. You can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @WokeRepellent, all one word, and you'll find me there as well. So have a great day, guys. We'll see you guys on tomorrow's Insanity Report. Peace out.